Subraso sense maudo yensa kan ya boaboa no semufo asone so no ye de free studio se no worship us abeka judge and crying ediba ebesomo enyumeku aso yase no eye this way chocolate drink eye Ghana cocoa ne de aye aya na wanum bi ebo ni peduane pa your special ice mineral water and drinks ahodo no wodwum best point savings loans and the best assurance so eboye chidom and some no de di mo akote no ebi enie
Abai Edia Tuja say a yes Saglemi housing projects no says ya obehia and crankremwa edi ewi.
Abai dia so e kwakobo fom ahwe esisi dan e wo poku ase ne potem no ene dum kuma ne se omufom ni eni akiri.
Na soafo abedi akira wo hwe yesikasem so Edia Tuja say a year mid-year budget review a yesikasem so afo bekenkan ya wen bisa say yensa ma ne sika biem no dia toto niema yie no wo say e kire se Ghana ye nan esi yedie kwan so.
Diusa NPP amayoko ne manu etua ebo ahwe samayoko ne betumpo no empenifo so matum
amane boba echrem se o my Ghana mu womo a HIV yade no mu wobie no enkranmante mu yen na yedikan
atebubu amantene ne pote made hye ne se abaikra chipenyi no mu empenite nei o my demonstration
we ni nsempie ka ho na nwumre yede ba besomo se nunsia bremu ekasebo abna bayiye nya no enimidi menen
Akuya ajewa kwadi
afe yehye ensem no ase na aban ede atodwa sese esia no eye Saglemi housing project no eyade a wo behia ankrankra mu a ede awie na eye housing project ye kiremu a adankra wom no edoso pa eye na aban a wo twam koye no wonna wo hye ase na soso no sede sikasam toto ye koye no enu nti wentimi anwie enti se esia no aban ekira sika $140 million ena obehia asan ede awie edan no enu nti wo sese esia ne de obehia ankrankra mu a na wetimi ede awie.
Government recognizes the fundamental role that housing plays in promoting social cohesion, economic growth, and the overall well-being of Ghanaians. Today, I stand before you with a deep sense of responsibility to ensure that the vision of His Excellency the President to provide mass affordable housing to our people becomes a reality. As we break grounds for this historic project, I'm also reminded by his words to me prior to my appointment as Minister for Works and Housing, that I ensure we provide mass affordable housing for the people of Ghana. I am therefore humbled to be here today to begin the work of fulfilling that charge with the construction of 8,000 housing units here at Pokuase and Afiaman. Unlike the previous efforts, this revised program stands out as distinct and exceptional in multiple ways. This distinction arises mainly from the valuable insights gained from our past experiences, inspiring our commitment to approach things the right way this time.
As we celebrate this significant occasion, it is important also to address the challenges faced by the Saglemi housing project to which the Minister for Works and Housing alluded. We are aware of the delays and setbacks encountered during the execution of this project. The issues about the scope of work and the money expended on the Saglemi project have been taken to the Criminal Investigations Division of the Ghana Police Service for investigation, which have resulted in criminal judicial proceedings. However, in the meantime, to forestall the project from deteriorating, the Ministry of Works and Housing has actively engaged government, cabinet, the Ministry of Finance, and the Office of the Attorney General on the completion of the project. It has been established that, in addition to the 198 million United States dollars already expended on the project, government has to raise additional financing to the tune of 46 million United States dollars to complete the off-site infrastructure works, that is water, electricity, and storm drains to mitigate flooding. Further, $68 million United States dollars are required to complete the buildings and other essential on-site infrastructure works like the waste holding bay, sewage treatment plant, and the development of socioeconomic and civic infrastructure, such as a basic school, clinic, and shops. Based on these assessments, and having taken into account the project location and viability, Cabinet directed the resourceful Minister for Works and Housing, the Honorable Francis Asensu-Boakye, Member of Parliament for Bantama, quote, to explore the possibility of disposing of the Saglemi housing project, covering the 1,506 housing units at the current value, to a private sector entity to complete and sell the housing units to the public at no further cost to government, unquote. The lessons learned from the Saglemi housing project have been invaluable in shaping the approach and execution of this new affordable housing initiative. Today, as we break ground for this remarkable housing project, we acknowledge that our work is not yet complete. Government remains committed to providing decent housing for all Ghanaians. We will continue to explore innovative solutions, foster partnerships, and implement policies that empower our people and uplift our communities.
And NPP Amayoko Penny for first and Joe Funshiamu and Mamayoko Jones Ora Steven Ayensun Tim Ekasano, the two judges will say, Sika, Meche du Samayoko ma etua boashe Samayoko Meko animono, or more apejam, afenso Kanya Mofaso Mutriano, or more assassano, say a beboa amo mahuni padudua etuato, or maybe a quine at one more amavu for some bebemuo, no monso ababeshama near Marcoso Mush and Nimusa Mayokono, Anya Shikropomeni, a coma, beye or pipimi, 2 million or mutiato Mama Yukuno.
We are for a betre Yachimu and 9 do say was and to boy was a ubia ube pick back no could share I chess we MPP Nino Yachimu 9 your bronze dear and on which ya 2 cities was maybe and your silver and so dear and ubitria 5 cities was maybe gold and also between 8 cities busumi bia na platinum category and also between 10 cities busumi bia nti we no enyenhye wan kasa na abehwemu na wahwe ba bia wa hoden ewo ene mfaso a se ofa ba ko a ubinya afrimu na wa wakase we na mepe enye enhye uyi sa busumi ntoboa no a members bit me up picking on Matrianoa. The sounds war patrons almost when she say, oh, I say, we sign it up, so we a patrona, and also we see car. Else was me be a Uchiadema patino. Now, and also so a home Akatria, I will be me a free patinimu. Until ye Jenina and she will be a Jenina ama. Bia we party ni ana wonye party ni mpo na opese obe join party no a na wotia sia obe join wi a no aka se mepe bronze mepe silver mepe gold mepe platinum na wasane wodin na wotua ho deals no na party ni nso so ama ho oso ne wakatua.
Ene emrashe bejafo eko asetna ama eye mesin thia na koshilamte a aban asenye ni biem se omeye deputy special prosecutor no se emrashe bejafo apene so se dibre no ose fata se obesan afa na omutremu se ensemisa omubisa no anu ye ode ba ye no ni nyina no eto asum enu nti dibre no wose fata pa na sonwase MP Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak eka se ewofoaso nanso wose se de vetin no ekoso a ama beda bedwam ama obi ehune ne de omo anye ne yenti no da foforo no mo hwe na omo hwe se bibi ombeye no ebeba betodwa na amansan nyina ehu.
that was set in this vet. Mr. Speaker, I've been in this house since President before. Simply because people are being renominated does not mean that they should be vetted in camera. It is the choice of the committee to do it, but you know that in the case of the appointments committee, our standing orders itself says that that vetting should be public. I'm not saying that what we've done is wrong or it negates what we are doing. But the moment we pick and choose, tomorrow another minister or somebody else will use that as a basis to say that why am I not going to be vetted in camera? And by the time we realize, we will further weaken this house. The Speaker, this house is already weak. We can never run away from that. The public don't even trust us. Even when we sit before the cameras and vet, they still come with questions about that. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? All they hear is that we are approving people and we did it in camera. The Speaker, I hope that in future, as chair of the committee, maybe you may have to stand your authority and know that the public is watching us. And we cannot have a method that we have established over the years being varied for one individual or the other. People will begin to ask questions of it, and it will be very difficult to explain or to answer. This is the comment that I want to make, but I agree that this is a woman that I was the one who vetted her. I have no doubt about her capability, but the method that was used, I think that this House needs to revisit it and be cautious that it doesn't become a choice for others or a new normal where others can exploit. And then when you are saying that no, maybe tomorrow it will be Honorable Mama Yerga, he will say, why? Why are you varying when you've done this before? So I thought that I needed to let the official records capture this concern.
Again, say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried.
Tamale South Marshebedwani onwenyam for Haruna Idrisu ono eka appointment committee omo ye vet no ho na kasaye mu no ritudwa akire mu se ye wo mra e wo Ghana ase wo bi e ba bedidi brebi e wo abemu a ese na japade a wo no woda no wadie na omanfo ne hunu bi na kina bi no wo ko na waye kese ye hu senipa so mesi Ghana ne bo no ka na sika akwa kodi ne nsam na so emra no e ho no mo anya adwumanti wasre sensa kraye mrem ne momodresi e behwa mamra na ye adwuma na aboa ama corruption ano abrase oman Ghana mu.
We were told by President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo that he wanted to strengthen the hand to fight against corruption. Therefore, his motivation to create an independent office of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. We are considering the nomination of a deputy to the Office of Special Prosecutor. And Mr. Speaker, my study reveals that throughout the world, corruption is facilitated by three important variables: greed, opportunity, and need. That's what facilitates corruption. Corruption remains an integral part of Ghanaian public life. Even though unjustifiably, Mr. Speaker, the blame is squarely placed on political office holders, as if it's only ministers or MPs because of our opportunity to supervise state resources that we can be associated with the conduct of bribery and corruption. Declaration of assets, Mr. Speaker, is an important ingredient to measure income against persons' earning and whether your earning is commensurate to your income. Mr. Speaker, I have argued, and it was before you as chair of the appointments committee, that probably Ghana must now look at reviewing our legislation criminalizing unexplained wealth and shifting the burden of proof on unexplained wealth to the accused person. Because I know the deputy leader is a very good practitioner of criminal law, and he's read Daku very well, and he knows the burden. Proof beyond shadow of doubt or reasonable doubt. The onus is always on the state. But in fighting graft and white-collar crime, Mr. Speaker, permit me, like this matter of Cecilia Dapa, a matter may be immoral, but not necessarily unlawful or illegal. But where does the law itself drive its power from? Morality. A conduct may be immoral, unethical, but not necessarily unlawful. But I maintain, because of the high office we all occupy, that when you engage in conduct that raises eyebrow, this parliament must rise up to the occasion, review our criminal legislation, and review, which has always been the position of the majority leader, the Honorable Osei Mensah also. Our asset declaration regime must be reviewed in total. Nobody knows who has what, who got what, how did you get it, nobody knows. So we have to make our asset declaration more responsive. But Mr. Speaker, when members of parliament or ministers of state engage in conduct that are unethical, not necessarily unlawful, the public trust wanes, the public confidence in us wanes, and the public confidence that we will supervise strictly and control the public affairs ways.
Yejina we say so ahomia ba ye ba kase bo no ye beto aso yesrew enko babia. Yema yeho yenho akwa abaye to akase bono eso. Abedweko a mo hwe sikasem so e wo mrahye no dani ayo owura akwakuman na wode atodwa akire mu sese aban bi ehempuntu dwuma bi ase na wanwie no wokọ a aban beba foforo ba bedi na so ade na so ba bedi ade no wonhwe so betwa so afen so aya yenya ise ha aban no a wodi ade no se wonye wei abra dada no wonye nwie ye fisesika no ebia na ebi eniho.
So, Mr. Speaker, as we respond to this call to help our own country overcome our economic challenges, what should we do? Mr. Speaker, what we should do, perhaps, is more clearly stated in what we should not do. We should stop putting pressure on government to spend on projects for which we have no money. And especially now, we should be asking government to spend on projects for which we have already committed the economy. Let the arrears that have piled, some of them very historical, let us put the resources we have into those arrears. Let us stop again putting pressure on government to take on new commitments. And Mr. Speaker, I say this on behalf of the Finance Committee. We will be looking to support government and to ensure that the resources we have go into existing projects instead of taking on additional projects. And we do this fully conscious that it is the point of government itself that this is how it intends to live, to help the economy live within its means.
There's been a claim that we are in this mess, we are in this quagmire, we are in these unprecedented difficult times because of a so-called COVID Ukraine war. Mr. Speaker, I just want to provide some data, and my cutoff point is 2019, so that we know whether indeed we're on the right path or on the wrong path before COVID. Mr. Speaker, before we left office, in 2016, the depreciation of the cedi was around 7%. In 2019, the cedi depreciated by about 13%. Hey, double. This is a fact, it's in the budget.
95%.
Debt to GDP ratio was about 56%. By 2019, it had ballooned to 63%. The deficit had increased, that's the overall deficit, to 7%. Credit to private sector had reduced to about 4%. The construction sector was in the negative. Gross fixed capital formation, and that is the basic issue when it comes to economic development. If you don't increase the capital base of your economy and you spend so much on goods and services, you are going to witness a downturn when you face headwinds. Yeah. We spent double what this government spent during President Mohammed's time on infrastructure. Eurobond alone, Eurobond, you borrowed about 4 times what President Mohammed borrowed. And so to come and tell us that we are in this quagmire because of a so-called Ukraine-Russia war, the facts does not speak to that. And these are facts. Look, these are not opinions. I'm giving you factual information from the budget, from the Bank of Ghana, and from the IMF documents. And instead of you to learn from your mistake, they're too proud, listen to us and pick up, you are still on this tangent of Russia, Ukraine, COVID, Russia, Ukraine, COVID. If you don't appreciate the problem, you can never find a solution. You are too proud to listen.
Iyebetu akasiye bone so na asye ya omo no mo hwe kebi ma menka bia mamu ewo yeman mu ede atodwa se ehu behia se Ghana ya ban mu no eye local government system no manu nkoye party ba konkwa na emom no yemfa party bia enka ho bi enje o madwenkyere se de be yebetimi aboa.
Institute for Democratic Governance etwanity awa IDEC achire mu a ebehia se ebe nsa kyerɛ mapa ɛwɔ local government system no emu na etimi nso aboa ma decentralization system na se tumi a aya na ye pese ye de memma ɛyɛ aban mu mpanifuo bi ɛwɔ ye nkuro nketewa ne nkuro ase mu no ebetimi awie mu die san se ɛmoa ɛma ye ka bi ma menka bi amemu no enyina na so pame sa na Professor Kwasi Jona a wono ɛyɛ senior research fellow ɛde ma IDEC ɛna de ensem we nyina no to edwa a wo mo kire mu sɛ yetimi ya sansa kyare na bɛboa mpo ama kyerɛ sɛ ɛma dodoɔ ɛmabu no dodoɔ ahemfo nso ebetimi ɛde wo mo ano akom na ɛsɛ wo ma no beduru bu no mu na yesi gyinaye bi ɛwɔ yamamu ensɛmu a wo mo nso atimi asisa gyinaye no a ɛbɛboa ama yɛka bi mamenka bi amamu a yɛpresi ebenya ne papa mu na afei nso amanyɔsɛm a yɛgyitu mu sɛ ɛnkɔnkɔyɛ afanu na emum no yɛpre ne dodoɔ mu ɛyɛ multi party system no ɛno nso ne betimi awie mu die na apem yamamu nsɛm so no ɛde akɔnkan ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana mu.
Me fi sɛ civil society organizations like IDEC, CDD, NIADE, ɛsɛ take the leading role sɛ ɛbɛyɛ encourage youth no. Na je ehia titru ɛne sɛ opɛ youth no ɛyɛ involved in government nsa ɛsɛ obedu on capacity. And yes, I was sorry, and I will call Abemu. I say you build the capacity, the confidence of the youth. And no, added to one of the issues are about they press youth involved in politics. But I say also it.
And you need consensus too. At the moment, the consensus we have is MPP NDC. I can tell you that the consensus potentially exists. It's left to who would really get them, because if MPP wants to open local government to parties and devolve more power, when we've talked to our NDC friends, they've said that we would even win the majority of the local assemblies and the MMDCs. But for the first time, we would have parties in opposition and so on governing together with maybe the president and his party at the national level, who probably control parliament. And don't forget about the parliamentary situation. It's now a hand parliament. I'm not sure we're going to get the majoritarian thing we had when we started for some time to come.
Say yeah to MMDC for so abane de eye. And obeboa ama say yetumi ahodi yen DCs any MCs for no accountable and responsible.
So we have started an advocacy project that is geared towards reducing the age limit for someone to contest for youth. Why is it that if an 18-year-old person can vote, that same person can't contest for positions to become an MP? And also, we are also proposing that for someone to become a presidential aspirant, at least the person should be about 30 years, and it's fine, because we form about 55% of electoral voters that are currently voting in the country.
Ọmọbẹ̀yìn nana adodanko Akufo-Addo ene wode aso abofom ewo pokuase a yebesisi dan a ne bo no ewo fom na ye papa amaganafo enye bi mu ada eno eye National Affordable Housing Project na eno ne dom kuma no akasa de afanwache mu se ekwan a aban efa so edi dwumade ne dikan no emu enna ho ne etoso mienu emra enim na afenso amfa mamra hyebedwam amomo ambobo hu ansa no nti omodom kuma ne de omo enya de omodom be hyesa enema nim bodi mu ahyebedwe no munyafo Samson ahi na de sa ensem wei etudwa.
Now, our demand from the minority is to know how much the on-cost, that is, the road project will cost this government, and how much the water to the site, electricity to the site, which is government's commitment, will cost us as a people from the taxpayers' money. Whether we are taking a facility, a loan from somewhere to add up, which will be the 40% cost from the government, whether we are taking from the taxpayers or wherever we are getting the money from, we demand those answers, which has not yet come. You know, Saglement has the same similar condition where government is supposed to bring, road, water, electricity to the site. Unfortunately, government could not do it, and therefore the contractor, the investor, brought those things to the site, especially the on-site infrastructure, which they did, and that has affected the cost of the building that was constructed at Sagme site. If we don't have answers to these questions and we allow this project to go on without we approving it in Parliament, as it is now, we have not approved it because we do not have answers. If we don't have those answers, how can we be assured that the contractor will not be asked later on to continue using their own funding or money to do it, which will eventually escalate the cost of construction? Currently, as it stands now, they claim it's an affordable housing, and they're giving us some figures. We are not satisfied with those figures, and we think that government should come clean on this. All we know today is that they have invited us to come and commission or cut a sword for the construction of the project. Something that we all know, that if Parliament has not given approval, you cannot start a project. Today they are starting it. So we are leaving it for you Ghanaians to judge. And from our perspective, we think that the government has not done well for this country. Thank you.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama made it so clear that when he assumed office in 2025, he would like to complete all ongoing projects first before they even embark on new projects. So he has made it so clear, yes. But while there are issues with it, it needs to be investigated, and then we see the finality of it.
This particular project is supposed to be laid in Parliament today. This has not been done, which means the EPC agreement has not been approved in Parliament. So if you have presented such a document to Parliament for approval, it has not even been laid. Yet we are there cutting sword to commence work. What does that mean? Is it a slap on Parliament? Is this a disrespect to government structures or what? Are you not surprised that we are supposed to take this EPC agreement through? That has not been done, but we are rushing to cancel.
Ghana Aids Commission for Ababebo Amaniese Afin Pinoni Edunu Minumuno. Omuye Shushemu Efa Ghana Hanom Adeshia HIV AIDS Yadieno. Omu ewo bieno enkrimantem yena yetope ya eye enipa 85,403 ena enyaye na santimantem so ena ediso eye enipa 72,429 ena fei etifi epoye mantem so edihwa eno enipa 1,743 eno menya yade no ebi
more HIV no eye beye empem ahasa ene adunum enum na sani pai wona no oye memma wom no eye empem oha ene dunum ena emma ewom ye empem ahanu aduanan se boni tofa emun kwala na eye 24,712 ena mpanifo wona wadi emfie dunum ekono so no moye empem ahasa aduasa ene ahanu ene dunum na 2022 numu no nipa enya HIV foforo a ekirese 2021 no sa nipa no muni HIV na emom yewura 2022 mu no na onya HIV sa nipa no eye empem dunsia ahenum adioson enan emu mema na eye empem num ahensia aduanan enson ena ma ewomu ye empem du ahankron adionunson na yedeba regions nsoso a ne makan ye national level data na regional level data no ne yehu ni se nipa dodo a wo HIV wo man mu no dodo na ete enkran mantam mu ana Greater Accra mantam mu nti Greater Accra mantam no nipa dodo a wo HIV a ete sa mantam ni mu no eye mpem adio watchinum o ahenan miɛnsa a broni bɛka sɛ saa nipa yi ɛyɛ wɔn a wɔwɔ HIV nyinaa wɔ Ghana no emu ɔha abupɛn aduonu nan nea ɛtɔ so mmienu ɛyɛ Ashanti region ɔmo nso so wɔ 72,429 persons living with HIV ɛwɔ region no mu na region a nipa a ɛwɔ HIV esua koraa no ɛyɛ North East region a nipa dodoɔ a ɛwɔ hɔ a ɛwɔ HIV no ɛyɛ apem baako ahanson aduanan mmiɛnsa.
Onimonyafo Benito Usubi oni oswafo abedi ekire ohwe nsase ne obo ade ne paso ne fa eno eye nsase ene ye kwaye brentu ahodo no wo se nyame eye adoma eye osana na se August edikan no omo ato ye kwaye brentu ahodo ne musema wo bia enkomu enkopewrem nam entiabomofo no ye ka kire mu se ye kusie ye wotwen ye adoa eye akrante mu obi ankopebi kopim se December bosum no beduru so ne ye wei se ebeboa ma emoa no awowo adoso ede amaye.
Jumadie no obia one time edeba August 1st to December 1st. Yes, embua o omo won wura mu o omo nam abontin o so omo nam hin o yen ko enko chiwon ana yen ko pawon embeton wo kwan ho de bie betumi apa eya akrante na nupo no e wo say yenya permit a free forestry commission enti sa dwumadie ye because emboa no all year round say ye bekọ ni akọche won ni akọpa won a any time ben na omo benya ho na omo so abo omo ho ban awo a multiply ama forestry or any wildlife no so etumpon
mo amochichi mboa basa enne aban bolidero se enne dua 1st August ekosi 1st December 2023 mo any mfia abedi achi na yenko ahayo ye kwaye ni mu yenkokumboa yenchimboa yenya bibia ha emboa because some empray yehu se nhwema kire se some pray ni na emboa no ase edore womo na afi so obroni beka se womo ye mating nti yesremo ebi kura abo na okokura na onyim na wonnim na ne ma so kura di nachi no akokun maame no no de asem kese aba ye pese moa na ase etre
ya adwene ho se mra eboa moa no ma moa no so etimi ahome enya wo madaje no motina se de be ya obi ankoboa wo mo no obi anko ha wo mo no eno no saada no eno ne friend close season no so asha ase free 1st August to 1st December. Until within that period, ya ma obia enko kwaye mu, enko ku aboa, enko chesi aboa bi, enko ye bibia kwaye nim. Na ya jai ama emoa no ehu ato omo. Na said ye be ya o mbetimi awo na o madoso. Ama na ye mpaso ama ye ya. Enti da bia ehia ama ye ene emoa no soso.
Ejina we so ni ahomekase ebono so abasisia ene yentena.
Yamaya huyenwa kwa baye to akase boni su biemu ana NPP amayeko no emma a omo atebubu amanten abato mpesua no so enei omo ayeye echirem se omampanyi nana adodanko akufu adobeya enkomo aban krachi panyin wompamu ne frise enema wo ye ne de mpapamu ne titimu eba amanyeko no ma wanhwe ya na akon atiomo 2024 abaye beto no
Edward tamana NDC ewo aban mu no office ana no opposition ena pese bi se Edward uhire atebu amanti constituency kwan ya poto se eda hoyi tamana nadu omu maya sutisa nadu ebe bakroma Edward esori gidi se omu ye kwan no aban se nadu anti me amano omu jai kwan ne fine enu achi ko market okokosha ade Edward e nipa bi a no ye businessman okroma business de apata we just so no say oniama no ntimi nkọ store no mu a esa wotwa apata kakra amanfo bombon ne atwetwe ma apata kakra odwomo Edward asori ne asojafo ne police fo wono na di anim na omububu amanfo apata enso ne de odwomo besi na me ne ukasai omubu nu wa bubu obi ade agya ne de
tama do mbaye no na NDC mira no so na ye GT stores kakura ye 70 series obaye no waye ni 400 series 4 million kanisika no wabanzu wa taxi upe untia ubetia ni force wabana wantia store sikana ubetu storm yenyina wona ya ajimasena wose TTN no nti amajomo wa ntimi ka MPP asem kura uko ka MPP asem ane ye tiwatem se party ni ba ni dia na mabe ya makurom no mu taxi ni pa bebre bibia tax nti yesu enzongo fo ni 70 no omu taxi ensana ama obi a ntimi nkọ no yesu ye dosu wa sa atebu ano nti dawra de yempe dauda munyini na mumfa ni pa fufuro mbra eduale osu yempe no
wa dia tebu hyammo wa diri party fo hyammo emia party scholarship ba party ni ba ko kura no wa nya tebu wa ni nyina ba na wa je ma ayi outside fo nkwa ayi nkransa ni kentampo ben di ye pa ya onabo MC ansa no wa dia hwemo eya tebu ya edi asra wa mampanya tukata kwa kufa say ye resobati ye sufra onabo ejo usu so open wa common appointment ayan cry
Yeto ansem no so ewo dwadie mu na National Lottery Authority mpanyufo edi mfidie fofora ba eba beboa na ema na omobobo no ebetimi ada ho fine no metimi so akwanyim
National Lottery Authority NLA for new machines we no madan wadi no wo akiremu a ebeboa amasisi ana abafo kwan so no asisi wo so wo kọ no mama lotto twa no aye den na afensu Ghana de hye ani age ho no ebema no atimi awie mu de na afensu ama fan yo no so atimi adedi sede wo no epe no pepepe ene wo no edan machines ye die no NLA mpanifo aban mpanifo afei wo no mo twa lotto ena afensu lotto marketing companies awodo ne apamfo awodo a wo mu de wo nkui e wo lotto industry ni munyina na tese omudi omani munyamba beta ekire ema wo mutumi edan machine wi edia eba beboa enso ewo kwan hodo so na maloto twa no so ayede na ye nika so Minister of Defense another suafo o hwe bambo ensem so munyamfo Dominic Nitiwu ekokopie mu ewo dwumadie no ase na nsem sei e na wode etudwa.
I urge the VAF and the NLA to maintain their relationship and cooperation as a shared responsibility. I believe a united front will enable you to keep the lottery illegal operators out of business and generate more revenue, which will enjoy to all of us our benefit. So that when I also go old, the state can take care of me through my pension. It is my hope that these new machines that you have just acquired will bring in the revenue for the benefit of the state. Gather this money. And if Lotto will bring money, we have to ensure that Lotto is able to bring the money that we need.
Some machines afoforo yi a empanifo enya ede eba beboa maloto ni dwumadie ensem so no mo de aboso no eyade a wo mo ebie ano anaso wo mo edan no adie no wo mo esohweye na wo mo hweye se ampa no kuranie ene ne dwumadie ensem de ejina brane ankasa ye ne pani kwanhwefo oda National Lottery Authority ano owura sami ewuku ehwetwe nkomo emode botayi a etai ekire nti e ma wo mo ekokofa machines ufura na se wo mo aye wo madwene se wo mo de machines ufuro e be ka wo dwumadie ensem ho na etimi so abom dwumadie nsem so no etu dwase
NLA ne veterans for science eye nkratasemi na wo mo ye the private lotto for no. Now mama veterans no 20,000 cedis every month. Na yeni almost sign NLA instead na emma almost 140,000 cedis every month. Inti ye no bear times 6 times 7 of na a private for a maum. Since then yes answer share omo medical niema. Afis yes answer so no share a year omo niema bibroma kwentu ni ade fa ho. And they were last year to brand new 4x4 so the veterans no. Now consistently we have been a pillar of support from where you know now yet to know a year no triple pound a year ediasa. Na se no they call a year non do and opebia. That's from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Even making sure that there's more playing time. We also allow the playing public to enjoy it. Now yet more revenue to support the veterans. Into a game no any honche share no. But obe launch here no that game no so I yet is so ye NLA share going to be as last year. And they pay new draw machines. And run a World Lottery Association for assign home a year man says see nya sadia na sana yet me akoyenim. Tene no sa draw machines be do ye no they go through all the needed processes to ensure say woma pass mark no ama yen so no yetimi apa ho to my na mo ama hu se ne aye eho no. We also didn't want it to be say udi nsu agu to ada dem. Tini are model ye studio ho no a se sem so hwa ne ahu wo Abroche TV ni subi no hwe NLA susu studio no a akwa te say no.
NLA development through games.
Asidan koma sewa closet so wa share yatade ma ye ho ye fe friend was 0243 508635 and na lawless locks for eye mitima me 0244423201.
Bella Wake Center and Oyemitino Emma me Fre Bella was 0553 045 995 0553 041 995.
Bedi adiapia ajewa akodi emene
abena beyi nyano
adamu asiama mumo ahmehwa adieka